So this is another one I did today. This was a 75-inch onto drywall at Lake Haus apartment complex right across from Lake Calhoun there. And I've mounted so many TVs there. It's dozens. It's always difficult to park, to say the least. But this today was perfect. I couldn't believe it. The spot I usually try to park, it had cones. Uh, it was just coned off, and so I couldn't park there. And so I went up to the next complex, which is kind of adjoining with it, and every spot was open. Usually every spot's full, and there's people like, you know, temporarily parked on the curb if they're DoorDash people. That type of environment. Really nice places though. But this one was absolutely cut and dry. There's not much to say about it, um, except the only interesting thing to a person that's potentially watching this that may be a DIYer is metal studs, right? And so the guy had initially he was doing it as a DIY project, and there's a couple things that tripped him up, and so one of them was the fact that um, they were metal studs, and so he found the studs with his stud finder just perfectly fine, except that the level that he was drilling the holes with the template that comes with the mounting bracket, they were 10 inches higher than the ultimate height that he wanted. He wanted the TV mounted an inch higher than the soundbar, so low, you know. And in his case, he had had the holes 10 inches higher than what that would allowed. And so I sort of walked him through it. I said, here's where you would have put them and where I'm going to put the bracket based on where you want the TV. And here's how I came to that measurement. And so when he learned it, he was like, oh, I can't believe I didn't think of that. It's one of those things that tricks of the trade. Once you know a thing, it's you can't believe you didn't think of it prior, right? But for any TV mounter, it's you know the simplest thing we do all day. But yeah, the metal studs. There's a bit that I use. It's sort of a spiral bit. It's very thin on the tip, and then it spirals out like a pyramid. And so what it does is it pierces that metal and then widens the hole as you drill in, and it widens it just enough so that when you're using your lag bolts, it just smoothly goes in. Otherwise, if you try to use a normal wood drill bit, it'll just spin and spin and spin. You're not going to go anywhere. You're just going to burn up the bit and, get a good arm workout. But that's a pretty typical thing that trips people up. The other way to go about using mounting onto metal studs is to use snap toggles. You can drill a half-inch hole into the metal studs. Um, and in some cases, I do that when it's 100-inch TVs in conference rooms and in offices. Uh, I do I use that approach quite often because each of those holds something around 600 pounds apiece into those metal studs, and so it's super secure. And the TVs, even the 100-inch TVs, they only weigh around 150 pounds, except uh, I mounted a load of TVs at the Red Cross downtown Minneapolis, oh, 3 months ago now, and holy moly, that one was 300 pounds. It was an interactive screen, like so a big iPad where they could, write things on there that they were talking about with their presentation to, the other people in the conference room. So that one was a doozy. I had two of my guys on that one. Usually I only bring one along for a 100-inch TV because 150 pounds isn't heavy for an object, but for how big it is, it's just unwieldy. And so I had two of my guys with that. It only took us two of us to lift it, but to get it from the garage to the conference room, it's kind of like a hospital layout a little bit. And so you go over the double doors, they always have that lip. And so pulling it, it's upright and it's about, I don't know, 7 feet tall because it's on pallets and strapped in. And then it's built in this like crate system so that it can't tip. But sure feels like it can tip when you're trying to get a little bit of speed to get over that lip. Oh boy. But 75-inch TVs in a residential space, no problem. And then he just wanted a little cord conceal strip there. So that's all that was. Easy peasy.